Wilton Simpson just was a tireless advocate for the pilot program that was established years ago. I think it was 20, and that allowed the funding to be distributed to the Crisis Center of Tampa Bay to make this a reality, and the impacts of what you've done are profound. So thank you both so much for what you've done to commit this issue. As now you take that pilot and you try to make it statewide. We stand behind you 100%. And lastly, I'll just speak to what we were doing just before the pandemic really struck the state of Florida. We were in D.C. for the Governor's Challenge. So the Governor's Challenge is an initiative that Governor DeSantis did from Washington, D.C. and the U.S. Department of Veterans Affairs, as we like to call it, FDVA, BIDV. And that was a challenge to have states sign up to help end the death by suicide rate and to come up with a state action plan to do so. So we were poised in working on addressing this issue right up and until the moment that this sort of started to hit us here at home and we had to restrict travel. And so we were up advocating for that issue, working on our state plan. I know the team is still working diligently on getting that plan together. And so all the pieces were in place. And we may not have prepared for what we're dealing with today, but all the pieces were in place to be ready for what might come. Didn't expect this, but obviously because of the leadership that's sitting in front of us right now, we were in a better posture to do so. Thank you both so much for all you're doing. Greatly appreciate you, and good to be back with the team.
Coto, we had the privilege of meeting you a second ago, and first of all, congratulations on signing as a free agent over with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I've seen he's a big fan of the Bucs, and you really have a great story of overcoming adversity. And your faith really guides your way, and you've or playing football. I think was it New Smyrna High School is where you started to play football. And
yes, ma'am. New Smyrna Beach High School.
New Smyrna Beach. And I was telling the better half
Great
a second.
community.
It is. That's our old area
We
back
had
there.
that in the congressional district for 6
Oh,
years.
it's a beautiful area.
It's
a great place. I actually, when he was in the campaign, we would go out and we would knock on doors, and where are we going to go today? I said, I'm going to New Smyrna Beach. It's like being on vacation. Like, I'll spend a few minutes at the beach, and then I'll go and knock on a few doors. But I was bragging on the better half a second ago. I was saying, hey, at the combine, he did 20 reps at 225 bench press. I was like, where are you on some of that stuff? But really, I have to say thanks for being here. One of the most important things, as I kind of alluded to a second, was the importance of having community, the importance of having mentorship, and having somebody who can help guide you through, who can help you unearth the success that you have inside yourself that you clearly have done, and you have done amazing things. Talk about how important that was for you to have somebody there helping to guide you through, even the tough times.
Absolutely, First Lady. Yes, and President Simpson, he kind of spoke on it well. The community aspect that I was able to afford through athletics is what's privileged me to be right now before you all today. And thank you guys for also having me here as well. But for a critical aspect of that, oftentimes athletics, it provides this bridge where a lot of kids who don't have the things at home, like a parent or even a model or a good neighborhood or whatever it is they grow up in, whatever the environment it may be, that may be lacking, that they need. I was able to afford a lot of that stuff in a controlled environment like athletics. And through the gift of that, I thank God that He blessed me and gifted me with abilities to play this game. Because through that, I've afforded these opportunities to regain all this exposure that I would never, ever. And it's afforded me relationships that are just invaluable. I mentioned earlier, we talked about some of the organizations through athletics, FCA, Athletes in Action. To this day, mentors that I am connected with, well connected with, and they have walked me through what it's like to be a disciple of Jesus Christ, and it's definitely impacted my walk as a human being today, 100%. As a young adult, standing before you all as a rookie, all of that stuff, it definitely has impacted me in that way. And because of it, it's actually why I have community now. So I have a mentorship named Doug Gilgrease, who's was a team chaplain for the Bucs